got the time to play, but I pity the fool when there comes a day when he finds out his only guarantee is to make sure that he will be somebody.
Be somebody. You know you can.
Be somebody.
Be somebody. It's in your head.
You heard me?
You heard me.
Everyone loves a real
Oh, I love that bridge. Welcome. This is the Mr. T episode of Comedy Guy Podcast. We're here in the Comedy Estonia podcast studio, and today we want to talk about the legend Mr. T, and particularly in 1984, at the height of his fame, Mr. T released a motivational video for kids called Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool. That's the most Mr. T name you can imagine. And we've just been listening to the intro music from that. And in this episode, what I've done is I've chopped up some of the pure gold clips that come from this VHS, from a VHS, and we're gonna talk about them. Join me here in the studio to talk about it. I've got my good friends Karl-Alari, Varma, and Ardo, Asperk. How you doing, boys?
Hello. Hey, man.
Good. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Good. I'm happy you guys are here. You're like the perfect ones to talk about this. I was like, this sounds very Külapood type style, right?
Yeah, we recently talked about A-Team and Mr. T as well amongst ourselves, so we're knowledgeable now as well.
Oh, nice. What was the context you were talking about, Mr. T? How come that came up? Or
we were reviewing sort of old TV series that were really popular in Estonia when we were growing up, and A-Team was probably one of the biggest ones at the time, because that was, as you got home from school, that was always on, and it was endless reruns, right? So you would always see A-Team on the TV, so you would know all the episodes and everything.
Every kid wanted to be Mr. T.
Fuck yeah, every kid.
Up.
That's amazing. That's a common combination that we have from East and West. Everybody wanted to be Mr. T.
Though we didn't know him as T, we just knew him as BA, because like that was an extra layer of like what like BA isn't his real name. Oh, it's Mr. T. What?
Mr. T's not his real name? What? Okay, because you only kind of knew him from the pop culture references, mostly from the A-Team, so you knew him as B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, because his biggest movie was Rocky 3 beforehand, right? In 82 when he got famous, but we didn't get to see Rocky 3. I think that that was not the TV channels did not have enough money to put on Rocky 3, but A-Team, we got the cash for that.
Yeah, when we did see that, our mind was blown. It was like Rocky is fighting BA, and BA is the bad guy. I mean, in the show, he likes kids and milk. Like, why is he being such an asshole in this movie?
Yeah. Maybe the only way you would have got access to Rocky 3 is from a pirated VCD or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember VCD? It was the format before DVD that fit onto a... It's still common. So we're going to talk about Mr. T. We're going to be playing clips from this, and this was originally released on VHS because it was 1984. And I had, if I had half a mind actually to haul one of my old CRT TVs in here, record this to a VHS, and then play it in VHS format, and then I realized what a fucking shit that would be. But if you want to buy a copy of this, it's like maybe $50 on eBay or something right now. Actually, maybe less if you don't want the cover. It's hard to get, but then again, not many people want it. So.
It's a collector's item. Is what
like, how much are you trying to save? Like, I want this, but I don't want the cover. It's blowing my bank. But I gotta have it.
Right, and I know we're going to be splicing in the video to this, and the only video I've got is really low quality, like you're viewing it on your modern screen. It's like a tiny speck and you blow it up.
Because that's what you get with old TVs, like VHS quality of like 240p or something, right?
Right,
and
exactly.
the best. And I remember we were watching the old Eurovision, and it was so awful to look at it because it like when you have the 1080 screen or something and you look at 240 high, like full screen, everything you can see your face is a pixel, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Everyone's in Minecraft.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So I was going to start our episode today with, let's talk about the history of Mr. T and you got on it. So first of all, quick quiz, quick question time.
Oh.
Quick question time.
Oh, I'm not used to being in this part of it.
And yeah, here we go. Is Mr. T still alive?
Yes.
Ardo, what do you say?
Well, I think creatively he died a long time ago. Biologically, yes.
Yes, Mr. T is still alive. He is 68 years of age right now. So
He looks old.
well, sure, he's old. I mean, he's going to look old. Yeah,
Yeah, but like, I mean, most Estonian men by that age are dead. So I think it's,
Well done.
he's keeping on.
he's doing all right. So Mr. T was born Lawrence Turow in Chicago, Illinois. He's the youngest son of a family with 12 children.
Whoa.
Now, in 1970, he legally changed his last name to T. So just T. And the reason that he used the terminology Mr. T was, I think about my father being called Boy, my uncle being called Boy, my brother coming back from Vietnam being called Boy. So I questioned myself, what does a black man have to do before he's given the respect as a man? So when I was 18 years old, when I was old enough to fight and die for my country, old enough to drink, old enough to vote, I said I was old enough to be called a man. I self-ordained myself Mr. T, so the first words out of everyone's mouth is Mr. That's a sign of respect that my father didn't get, my brother didn't get, that my mother didn't get. Dang.
That's really good, actually, yeah.
This guy means business.
Yeah. Self-ordained as well. It's
It is. It's a good
Yeah,
word.
yeah,
It's
that's a good-
ordained, right?
yeah.
Religious people get ordained.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
but why just the T though?
Good question. Why not Mr. Turow?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit Frenchy,
because
you know.
I think it's partly because it's written very differently. So the spellings you have a lot of different, and you like Mr. T. It's simple, right? And it's like how Mr. How do I spell this?
Trudeau. He sounds like that fucking
Yeah.
Canadian Prime
Yeah.
Minister guy, right? No,
Yeah.
it's not effeminate. It's not like no,
Yeah.
Mr. T, fool.
Tie.
And by the way, it was so hard not to read that quote in his voice. No, fool! I was thinking about my father, fool! Call me boy! You call me boy! You come back from Vietnam, fool! Like, okay.
I mean, it's the same pronunciation, just yelling. That's the only difference I can ascertain right now.
So Mr. T was a bouncer. He genuinely was a bouncer. And the gold chains that he's signature known for wearing, they're not only a representation of the gold as in the his African heritage, but it was apparently, he says that it started that when guests from the nightclub would leave things, they get into a fight and leave a chain behind. And then he would wear it and they would have to come back and take it from him.
Oh, okay. That's a
I wonder if anybody ever did. Like,
yeah, but after like he has 20 chains on, and you have to like choose which one's yours, right? Like they're all the same. You're like it's basically a lucky dip at that point. You can get any chain off them.
This guy's a jewelry store.
Yeah.
Hold still, T.
Yeah.
T. Turo, whatever the fuck you call yourself. So, going through the history, he was a bodyguard then, legit, for the likes of Muhammad Ali, Steve McQueen, Michael Jackson, Joe Fraser, and Deanna Ross, sometimes charging up to $3,000 a day, or up to $10,000 a day. So, as the...
he took their gold chains too. I imagine.
Yeah.
That's how you afford all of that shit. I mean, it goes on later to say that at once. I mean, he had like 300,000 worth of gold chains hanging around his neck.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't got 300,000 hanging around you
The
like
kilos as well, because it was apparently during the filming, all the gold chains he had were like 18 kilos, and that's how you keep fit. Because it's a lot of kilos.
You get that thick neck.
I mean, he's jacked as well.
Yeah.
So the way that he got, as you said, the way that he got onto Rocky 3. So because Rocky 3 was first before A-Team.
Yeah.
If I see here, it says in 1980, Sylvester Stallone spotted Mr. T. And so Mr. T was in a boxing match, right? Sylvester Stallone sees the video of him. And in the boxing match, Mr. T says, I don't hate him. Sorry. He says, I feel sorry for the guy who I have to box. I just feel real sorry for him. And then it was actually Sylvester Stallone who wrote into the script of Rocky 3 and said, I don't hate him, but I pity the fool.
Yeah.
The Sly Stallone came up with the phrase.
And that's an actual sort of a fun fact about the A-Team as well, that BA never says, I pity the fool in A-Team. That's the phrase from
The movie.
yeah.
Okay, maybe copyright reasons. They're going to come after him or something like that.
He does say the fool a lot, like he's a fool.
You
or
fool!
Yeah, you're a fool. He does say that a lot, but not I pity the fool, yeah.
I'd love to see like a Sylvester Stallone like Mr. T meeting where he pitches the movies like, hey, you want to be in movies? I'm like, what fool? You're being in a movie. All right, so I'll write you a fucking line. Like two totally different energies.
Yeah, they don't seem to be compatible. And you don't think of even though Sylvester Stallone did write the Rocky movies, definitely wrote Rocky 1. That's how that, because exactly.
Won the Oscar.
Yeah. Does he says handwriting, you imagine his handwriting is terrible. He writes like that.
Maybe that's why the voice is like that, because he can't read his own handwriting as well. He's trying to make, these are sentences, really they are.
Too bad Sylvester Stallone didn't get a job as a doctor.
Yeah. Doctor's handwriting.
Estonia has taken away that privilege away from doctors with our e-prescriptions.
I sometimes I have seen like the other not those, but sometimes when I go to the dentist or something, a doctor, and they'll write a new time on this little piece of card, and it's a line, and I'm like, is that a date or is that a signature? What is that? Like, it's just a line going. Like, I still have to go to the. Like, can you digitalize this?
And pharmacists know.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The pharmacies,
Yeah,
they take a course in how to read doctor shit.
This is ancient Egyptian like scripture.
So this video that we're gonna be watching clips from, called "Be Somebody" or "Be Somebody's Fool," it came out in 1984, which is the first season of the A-Team had dropped.
Yeah.
And he was the biggest shit out there right now. Mr. T was where it was
so
at.
popular.
Rocky, actually I don't know when Rocky 3. Anyway,
82.
82 is Rocky 3, right? So Rocky 3's dropped, A-Team's dropped. Everyone loves B.A. Baracus right now, and he drops this motivational video for kids. Last fun fact, 2 fun facts before we go. We'll watch a clip later on. Only once in this did I spot Mr. T. He wears an A-Team hat in one of the scenes. And finally, the last bit of fun fact, the raps that you will hear in this video were written by Ice-T.
I thought you were going to say Sylvester Stallone. But I've heard, I've read on the internet another fun Mr. T story that, I don't know if this is true, but supposedly he was in the army at some point in his life.
The
right?
military
Marine Corps,
police,
yep.
Yeah, and then
that's right.
his like sergeant or someone disciplined him for something, and they were like near a wooded area, and he was like, go chop down some trees for a while, just as a punishment. And then a couple of hours later, the sergeant came back, and he saw that he chopped down the entire forest. which could be true.
I think I like the fact enough. Like, I want it to be true, so I'll believe it's true.
Yeah. It fits
it's
the
Mr. T.
mythos.
It seems like it could be.
So let's get into our first clip. So this is another one of the intro ones. So we're hopefully, if you are watching this on the audio is great. We're going to try and talk along with it, but the real gold is in the video, because I'm going to splice in the actual video clips that we're watching. So Mr. T, this video is a combination of Mr. T giving motivational advice along with a lot of rapping. He just raps and does songs out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Other people sing. And there's a lot of singing, a lot of advice, and it's all the visuals are great because it's pure 80s. It's just 1980s New York. There's breakdancing. There's everything you expect from that. So
That's tiny. I have to say, like, when you just opened that on the laptop, it was like a little corner piece of the video, and now it's zoomed in.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, that's from Minecraft, as you said before.
Okay, let's go with.
Why is Mr. T pixelated? Is he going anonymous? Is it the police video?
Anybody tries to call you scrap, just look them in the eye, tell them you don't care. If you don't want to be a crazy fool, you better study real hard and stay in school. Now everybody knows Mr. T don't lie, and it ain't no fun just scraping by. So if you want to be cool, just like me, you better try real hard
And be somebody.
Somebody, you know you can.
be somebody.
Somebody, it's in your head.
Hey, you with the teeth. Come here. Come over here. That's better. Now I can see you. You know me? Of course you do. That's because I'm famous. Even before I was famous, I was still somebody. And I got respect. See, you don't have to be famous to get respect. You just have to be somebody. And that means being confident in who you are, being willing to take chances and risk falling on your face. Because that's the only way you're gonna learn. And that's what I'm here for, to help you be somebody. Because if you're not somebody, then you're gonna be somebody's fool.
Very prison slang.
I got the biggest sort of flashback of being in class in school, and the old TV was rolled into the room, and an old VHS of some sort of Discovery Channel documentary being put on by the teacher who has a hangover. Like, come on, children, go and have fun for the next hour.
Mr. T's walking down the street, bouncing up and down. Be somebody.
I mean, he's selling false hope to kids, though. You want to be cool like me. Like, nobody's going to be as cool as him out of that group, you know?
I know. And he comes out with a bold opener as well. I'm famous.
Yeah.
Which I guess he was back then. Yeah, I'm famous, but I was still somebody.
Yeah, before.
Before I was famous, I got respect.
Yeah, that's just like, there's not an ego start at all. First of all, you have a posse of children. You have your own crew of children, and you go, yeah, I'm famous. All the children know I'm famous.
You don't gotta be famous to get respect, which is a message I like, because I don't think I'll ever be famous. But like, I'm gonna try about the respect thing, you know. Thanks, T.
Yeah, and that's freaky, isn't it? Mr. T, Mr. Iced T, Mr. T, Iced T. See, they connected over that. They're like, "Yo, you a T? Oh, I'm a T."
I wonder if Ice-T was like, I do this hardcore gangster shit like as my main thing, but I write in the drawer some like the softer inspirational stuff. You'd be great, T.
I wonder if Mr. T was there during the filming, and Mr. Ice-T was there, and both of them were there, and Mr. T did the whole thing, and the other T is there like, no, more bounce, and goes and does the same thing after the gangster rap.
I can't bounce with these chains.
It's very difficult for me.
And so this opening speech is so good. It sets the scene. He gives these straight up, and you can see him reading the auto cue with his lines. I got respect.
Yeah, and the pronunciation of everything.
Right.
Yeah. Or you're gonna be somebody's fool.
Yeah. Right. He reminds me very much of whenever an Australian person tries to say something formal, because we can't. We're like, yeah, mate, what's going on? We're like fucking down under Sylvester Stallone, right? We're like, yeah, mate, what's going on? Let's go. I got the kangaroo. I got this is fucking great. And when in Australia we try and pronounce our words, then we really sound everything out. We sound like fucking weirdos.
Please don't kill me. We'll get you the money.
So we're starting with Mr. T. We set the scene of where he's at.
He's famous.
He is famous.
Now
we're going to play a clip. This clip is, I'm starting with, it's called Styling. And he's
Right.
talking about your clothes. And I'm starting with this because this is the bit that first introduced me. It was the year 2000. I was with my first job in IT at a company called Customware. And a guy that was working there, Oliver, it was like the first videos you could ever see on the internet, right? And he's like, Lou, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. And we watched this and we couldn't stop. I never, like this next clip is the reason we're doing this today. I can't stop thinking about how profound this next advice is. Okay, wait on. How do we?
I'm eager.
Styling.
Styling!
Hey, everybody gotta wear clothes, and if you don't, you get arrested. That don't mean you gotta let some fashion designer in New York or Paris tell you what to wear. Clothes express your personality, so express yourself, and not someone else. Do Calvin Klein, Bill Blass, or Gloria Vanderbilt wear clothes with your name on it? No, of course not.
Deep.
So you table the label and wear your own name.
You tape over the label and you wear your own name on your shirt. Oh, and look at this. Now they go into this like fashion show
Yeah.
Yeah.
of these two Asian chicks dancing around like the most 80s breakdance thing you've ever seen.
Xena. Yeah.
And Xena. Long before Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, one of them was the Chinese knockoff version.
In this graffiti-inspired creation, with her mustard socks and her ketchup sash,
So
she's
80s.
a real hot dog.
Mustard
She's a
sauce.
real hot dog. She's a real hot dog. It's so good.
I thought it was MacGyver for a moment.
It is. You can't tell male or female. No one can tell in the 80s.
I'm getting some
Marta.
good pickup lines. Man.
So Marta is Marika from the 80s singer
This
thing.
kid in town.
Look at this
Ain't no
boy.
doubt
Hippest
when Jeff's
cat in
around,
town.
with pants pegged tight and hair in
That's some Rick Astley looking.
Yeah, I was gonna
motherfucker.
say, yeah, that's Rick Astley.
Stay cool, Jeff.
Stay cool. I wonder if Jeff's still cool or is he like a crack addict. No.
Jeff's got a house in the southern league.
Jeff still wears the same clothes.
Jeff's kids hate him.
Jeff's wife's screwing the police chief.
Athena, with her English bowler
Athena.
hat and Japanese kimono. Athena combines the very best of East and West, with more than a dash of American-style know-how. Whether she's fixing her bike or prepping for the prom, she's
That's a very fresh outfit, isn't it?
No
I mean,
need to
you-
hold on this
some
That could be today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that
you
could
could
be
do that
the
like at Sveta bar, some hipster chick. I like that.
So it's more of this fashion show. I think this is one more. Athena. Oh, look at this.
All dressed up with no place to go. No sweat, says Kelly. I'll just run around the block a few times. And she probably won't be running along in this versatile outfit. Perfect for stopping traffic and starting. Who knows what?
Look at that headband.
Yeah.
Oh, the hair up, the band on the waist.
80s to the max.
80s.
I remember in the police academy, like the movies,
Yeah, it looks like it.
people look like that.
All the breaks have been going well for Manny.
This kid looks like he's straight out of the Karate Kid.
For breaking, and boy, do that look tough.
Is Mr. T just watching on like some sort of weird Jeffrey Epstein?
He's kind of dancing himself. Like, yeah.
Twirl some more, kids. Come on, kid. I'm getting into it. Don't be a fool.
Manny.
Stay cool, Manny. I want my van back.
Janine, cool as a peppermint ice cream.
Peppermint ice cream.
Summer and frosty white pumps.
She's Janine, fresh as a frosty ice cream. So I want to go back to that opening.
Say
Yeah,
frosty
even
ice
speaks
cream.
rap.
Yeah.
she's clean as a peppermint ice cream, which you can't say about a minor. these
No.
days.
No. No.
You're over 18. Cool.
I like that.
You're clean as peppermint ice
Gloria
cream.
Vanderbilt, Bill Blass, Calvin Klein, eat your heart out. And remember,
Whoa.
Shots fired.
label the label and wear your own name.
I mean, I feel like I was trapped watching this. So in a way, like this feels illegal.
You got to tape over the label. That, I swear to God, that hit me so profound. I had never in my life, at 20 years of age, it never occurred to me that designer labels weren't good and that you could
Yeah,
just
really.
wear your own name on your shirt. you tape over the label. You wear your own name on your shirt. I was like, holy shit, yes.
Yeah.
Anti-commercialism. Like,
Yeah.
he's got deep... That's some Che Guevara shit going on.
I mean, that's coming from a man who changed his own name, like taped over his own name as well. So, I mean, he's lived the life and it's worked for him.
Maybe it's easier for Mr. T because he only has 3 letters in his name. My name's long. I can't.
Yeah, maybe that's why he changed it, because he's having to do all of that on the tape. Like, shit, never
Mr.
mind.
Z
That's right, Mr. Z.
on your clothes.
You tape over the label. You wear your own name on your shirt. Oh, we went around. I couldn't get over it. I still can't. Like, that you would have a designer label shirt and then you would just get like some old gaffer tape and then put it over that and just like Lewis.
It would be very suspect if, you took someone home and you take the trousers off, and then they, instead of the Calvin Klein, they have a gaffer tape on the underwear, just Mr. Z written on it. Like, at that point, you'd be, maybe this was a mistake.
It's like my mommy writes my name on my underwear so I don't mix up.
I was just following the advice of a bulkily muscled black man with a mohawk. Whoops.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we're already seeing the input that Mr. T is giving, right? Like he's got some advice. Like he ain't fucking around.
He has an agenda, you could say.
Yeah.
He's absolutely. I mean, yeah. If you change your name,
I love the way it started the clip as well. Styling.
Stalin.
I just like, well, okay, I'm watching now.
Okay, what are we gonna?
But I have to say, the outfits, some of them did look really good. Like you could use them today, and some of them I've only seen in old movies, and I realized why those outfits sort of died out.
Those were the outfits of Reagan era optimism, Too cynical nowadays.
That's a sentence I can only hear coming from Ardo Asperk. That's
only in the back trails of my Twitter feed and Ardo Asperk is the only place. Okay, this one I'm going to skip around a little bit with the different episodes. So this one we're going to see not Mr. T, Dr. T.
Oh, I've heard the sound clip of him saying, "Hi, I'm Dr. T." And I always wondered where that was from.
Oh, okay. Here we go. We're bringing it around then. You're learning...
Recouping. Oh, hi there. I'm Dr. T. Have you ever been embarrassed, ashamed, or exposed? Done something so absolutely ludicrous that you wish you could have moved to a deserted island and hide your head in the sand? Check this out.
Okay, so it's just a kid skipping along the street. The kid falls over. And a fat white man laughs at him.
Grown ass
Now,
man.
how can that little brother recoup? Let's run that again.
Mr. T's advice.
Is that recouping or is that recouping? So the next time you find yourself in an absolute ludicrous situation,
Mr. T,
don't go hide your head in the sand.
Mr. T,
Recoup instead.
your pants.
Wait for it. Dang! Mr. T is fucking
One
jacked.
out of one Dr. T's recommended.
how early in the video is this?
It's pretty.
Okay, because if you've got that,
20,
you want
no,
to show
20
it off.
minutes in. It's 20 minutes in.
Only 20
Okay.
minutes.
That's what guys who pull out their dick on the street to women are gonna do. Like, oh, I'm gonna do squats, and that makes it okay.
I'm gonna recoup.
Is that recouping?
Just
Or is that the sound of police sirens?
for no good reason, Mr. T just gets down to his boxers and does squats in one of the sketches.
I was surprised he didn't rap during it.
There was a continuity error, though. He introduced himself as Dr. T, but the guy from behind the camera was like, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
And that hurt my ears as well.
I think that guy's probably dead
Then
now. But
I guess though that
He's so much pity that he just fell into his own grave.
I would say though Dr. T wouldn't do squats, but Mr. T would. I think that's why he had to get him back into the Mr. T persona for the boxer shorts.
I think Dr. T comes from the same medical school as Dr. Pepper, possibly.
Yeah. Actually, like that's a good strategy if you like don't want to go to medical school, go the Dr. T way, just change your name to Doctor.
Yeah, you can get your... But he's jacked.
Yeah.
Like, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you were that jacked, it was the 80s. Fuck it, you can get your...
I mean, the advice in itself was very 80s as well, because it was basically saying, if you fall, break dance.
Yeah.
It was if you make a mistake, save it by break dancing. Yeah. It's not going to happen nowadays, really, is it?
Yeah, and I love the next clip I'll play will compound this even further. Like in the 80s, people were savages to each other.
Yeah.
Especially, I guess, like it's clearly said on the streets of New York. It's a tough city.
Yeah.
You know, gangs, this sort of stuff. And just an old white fat man laughs at a kid falling over. Like that's something he would laugh at.
Yeah. And nowadays, you don't need to go on the streets to see that. That's what TikTok is for, right? I mean, I guess that's the only thing that's changed. Like, you had to go out on the streets to look at this. Now, if you see something, you pull out the camera. That's the only difference, right?
And I like, so I guess the message is that because then, I mean, the reason he's doing squats, I guess, is because he's like, I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
You know, it's me. I take it all the way. Fuck it. I'm doing it. Okay.
And that's the whole falling apart, like falling and doing the break dances.
Right.
Like, I intended to do this.
I intended to break dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nobody. Okay.
Yeah.
You fell over, kid.
I intended to not wear pants.
Yeah.
Like who's just laughing at someone? Like they fall over. Who's laughing?
Yeah.
What place was New York in the 80s?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Like they didn't consider the racial like there's some racial implications there of a fat white middle-aged dude laughing at a small black child that falls over.
Perhaps that was the intent of the video as well.
No, the kid wasn't black though. It was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, wasn't he? Oh, okay.
It was more.
He was Puerto Rican. Or
Yeah,
something.
something.
yeah. I was going to say
Latin.
exactly that.
I was gonna say more Latin.
Latinesque.
Yeah.
Maybe Greek or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a different
Italian.
time. It was a different time in the 80s. You could
definitely
laugh at children on the street.
I mean, you still can, but you just there's not as much children falling over, I guess.
As they're falling off their scooters. It's kind of funny when kids fall off their scooters. I do like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it was such
Not
a
enough of that happening.
Yeah, you can see that. Wait, your apartment in Lustomer, does it face out to the block of land or inwards into the
both,
street?
like I can see both because there's a lot of different buildings in a row, so I can see sort of the inner courtyard of both of them.
Where I'm getting to this with is
But I
that
can see the children's
You can see the children.
playground.
That's exactly where I'm
Yeah,
going with
okay.
this.
I can see the children's playground.
So when the children fall over, you can laugh. Okay, it's like we're in New York in the 80s.
Oh, I can even do better because they don't have to only laugh at children, but old age pensioners falling over as well. Because they have the outside area, they have this little training area as well now. And I thought that's for, buff last number guys doing sweaty workouts. No, like I saw old ladies go there.
Dang.
And like literally with a cane, come up to the thing, get on top of the thing and do a couple of moves and then go back to with the cane to the bench because there are like 3 of them and then the next one goes and the other 2 cheer them on. And that's I was just left there staring at this like what's going on. And one of them did like pull-ups on the monkey bars and stuff and I'm like, wow.
That sounds like to me, the Australian interpretation of that is that's a medical compo claim. And because that's the Australian way would be, oh, mate, I injured myself at work. Oh, I've got to be in the wheelchair. Or no, the classic is I've got to have the neck brace on or something. And, oh, mate, I injured myself at work. Oh, fucking me neck. It's terrible. I'm paralyzed for life. Don't you know? And then, it's the 60 Minutes investigative reporters and they've got a spy hole shot of him and he's like working out at the gym and dancing at the nightclub. And then as he walks out of the club, he puts the neck brace back on. It's like these old ladies, they stumble up to the
Pretty
equipment
much,
and then fucking bust shit out like Mr. T.
And they start break dancing. Look at Carl on the balcony like,
And
you're going to laugh. I recouped.
Recoup it. All right. I wanted to keep on this theme of people abusing each other in the 80s.
Yeah.
This is the next one. It's called Treat Your Mother Right. And instantly he says mother, not mama, not anything else, like mother, your mother.
That's a classic.
Yep.
12?
No
You
shot.
couldn't be more than 5. You're so fat they have to jack you up to take off your shoes. Yeah, well, you're so skinny your eyes are in single file. Well, you're so ugly your ears stick out to get away from your face. Well, your mama is
Hold
so...
it, wait a minute. Don't bring anyone mother into this. She ain't here. And if it wasn't for your mother, you wouldn't be here. So remember, when you put down one mother, you put down mothers all over the world.
And now a song.
Yeah, and now they're friends already.
Look at that. That's the dream right there. You have like these hot like backup sing bitches just everywhere you go.
Yeah.
In case you
very
want to bust into
diverse.
songs.
A white person, a brown person, a black lady.
That's pure 80s.
Mother, there is no other.
Now Mr. T's rapping here.
Yeah.
So treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother. So treat her right. Treat her right. Image for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that you felt when I was born. Always for the oven with
It's so good. He goes on and raps about all the different letters in mother.
Yeah.
Wow, I remember that song from Eurovision. I think it was 85 or something, wasn't it?
Oh, I love it. That you can have an overweight white girl abusing a small black child, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
As long as the mother isn't involved.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like he was behind the scenes, like enjoying this. Like this is a good ass roast. Oh wait a minute. Don't bring nobody money.
You're going overboard here. Right?
That chick is fat. He is skinny. Wait, mother.
Obese kids.
I remember that was just abuse. The two of them,
abuse.
random abuse.
Straight up abuse.
Yeah. And now you can see more abuse. You know, so there was like stuff on the woman's cheek and so on. And now, okay, that's not abuse. But
So there's this whole thing now about just being nice to your mum.
Yeah.
Just it's a montage of children spending quality time with the mother.
Again, which is like very Reagan era. You know, America is great again.
Look at that microphone. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I was looking as well.
That looks like something that I saw with when Elvis was doing the 78 comeback special. I guess a similar era. And Elvis...
Wasn't he dead by then?
No, I think 78 was the... No, I think 78 was...
Nobody died in like 77, wasn't it?
Wait, I thought the 70... Wait, we got to pull this up. Usually I wouldn't do this. All right, but this is Elvis.
This is Elvis.
This is important.
Oh, I can Google as well.
All right,
From
Elvis.
Beyond the grave.
Elvis dead. Because, look, if it was date of the death 1977, Jesus. Because I was going to say anybody else I would argue with, but
Hey.
when it comes to, but then what?
I think probably 68, the comeback special. I've heard something about that.
Oh, it's the 68 is the comeback special.
Yeah, because he was hot in the 50s. Then in the 60s, he did like shitty movies and like.
You're right.
that.
I was a decade off. It's the Elvis in the 68 comeback special. And I'm only thinking of it because he's got a very similar microphone.
And a leather suit.
Oh my God, yes.
And tan.
I mean, that microphone could be diamond encrusted, and it wouldn't look out of place. If that like little bit sprinkles of light coming off it, that would be perfect.
Right. I love the 68 comeback special because it's, to me, this is Elvis at his peak.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
the movies. He got kind of trapped into that, quote unquote, into that movie contract. He couldn't do albums. He just had to do all those cheesy kind of movies forever. And then he came out and he was bigger than Jesus. He was more influential and he fucking knew it.
Yeah.
And he's on the stage. Yeah, in this, like, that's still Eddie Murphy tried. It's half, like, Eddie Murphy still is not half of what Elvis was in 68.
Yeah.
Because okay, Eddie Murphy also had the tight, probably, you know, that's where Eddie Murphy got it from.
Yeah, he was a huge fan of Elvis.
Okay, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where the influence comes from. And Elvis was also into all this like kind of martial artsy, judo-y sort of stuff.
That's where the ha's and
Yeah. So he does this. So you watch the 68 comeback special, and he's like doing all this kung fu on stage, and he's like doing these amazing stretches. Like you can't stretch like that. He's like down to the ground and down to the other thing, and then you're ending a song with hi-ya! And there's fucking 50,000 people just going, oh shit, did that guy just fucking karate chop the end of the song?
Yeah.
He is bigger than Jesus.
Yeah. And during that time, there was, because some of the, like, his performances were stellar at that time as well. Like, he was, because he knew he was great and he could provide the greatness as well. It wasn't just like, come and see me. It wasn't just fame, but it was actual bit of power behind that.
Yeah, we need, you know what, we need to do another episode talking about maybe the 68 comeback special, or maybe, because I have a DVD somewhere at home, of like all Elvis songs that has a lot of Elvis outtakes, and there's one very old, I think it was even before the movies, and because it's in black and white, it's a press conference, and Elvis is there, and then his manager, the Colonel or something, I think he was called, right? And a female journalist asks a question of Elvis, and before Elvis can reply, the Colonel basically butts in and goes, what, a woman can't ask that question of Elvis. Like, basically he's like, dare you woman ask that question of the king right here? And you're like, dang. And she sat down in her place, and you're like, holy shit. I mean, that's got to be like 50, early 60s or something. Look, we're not condoning that behavior. It's amazing to see that shit happened.
A bit of historical footage as it is, basically.
Like, you're getting canced just for playing that these days. It's like a back end of a weird DVD nobody sees anymore.
Wasn't the Colonel wasn't he like besides the misogyny also a huge piece of shit?
I think so, yes.
I think I read that he lived his the last years of his life in like a Las Vegas hotel suite just because he was skimming off Elvis so much. Elvis got like 5% of his own profits or something.
He got 5%, a couple of hamburgers, and an outfit.
A couple of hamburgers too many, some would say.
Indeed.
Maybe perhaps it would have been better if he had skimmed more, in a way.
Yeah, it's like in the 68 comeback special, he's like just, top physical form, everything. Gorgeous man. And then like before his death, just like, fat, sweaty, in a fucking jumpsuit and cape.
That is the American dream, that you're going to be at your physical peak and then you die on a toilet shoving cheeseburgers into your mouth.
I mean, like, you can see all these actors in Hollywood doing like amazing transformations, like who was the Batman actor? Bane, or not Bane, but
Christian Bale.
Bale, in one movie he's buff, second one he's skinny, and so on. But the real heroes are the Elvis impersonators who do the whole career, because they really have to commit. Like, they all die the same way in the end, right? Because you have the buff version and the fat version, and you realize, oh no, I'm going to go back to the buff version because those songs are actually better, in a way.
I went, how long ago was it? Maybe 10 years ago. I actually went to Graceland. It was the first time I visited Dieter when he was in Atlanta, and I was kind of bored for a couple of days, and then I realized that Memphis was 8 hours drive away, and I was like, bro, give me a car right now. I need to go to Memphis, and I drove all night to get over there. I stayed in the Elvis Presley Boulevard shitty strip mall hotel. Like, so shitty that you park the car out the front so you can keep your eye on it.
Well, it's like the classic American motel, right?
Yeah. That you park the car out of the door.
It's like a plywood door to the motel.
Right, you can hear the guy sleeping with the stripper next door and stuff. And you see the plane, the Priscilla Presley plane, and you go around Graceland. And I went there because I felt it was the closest thing that America has to a religious monument.
Yeah, it's a sort of a pilgrimage. Go in there,
I had to go, and you see the outfits, and you see the room where Elvis died, and you see each thing. And I went to Elvis's birthplace as well. That's also a sacred site. So,
I mean, you can actually talk to Elvis still, because there's seances, right? But they
How?
Actually, there's a website. There's a website you can contact. You can type directly to Elvis, and the ghost of Elvis will reply.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds more plausible than hot singles in your area. What's it like in the afterlife?
Yeah. What was the actual? Was it a good cheeseburger at least?
Do you get to like sit on the toilet seat when he died?
Extra fiber and just you get a minute.
All right, what do we got? We got the next one. Our next back to Mr. T. But hey, look, Elvis, relevant topic.
Yeah.
Relevant, I feel, in this discussion. So this one is I am somebody. So again, very affirmative, motivational stuff. Rapping.
He says what he's
Which
gonna
does
do.
not fit the text on the screen, but okay.
Rapping is like street poetry. It lets you express your feelings inside, or the way you are. It's like your signature, your outfit, or the way you move.
Even if you don't know it, everybody's got a rap.
But we don't all work on it. Rapping's gotta be a rhyme. If it's not, it ain't worth a dime.
Ooh. Mr. T shows up now.
Rapping is the way of saying knock knock.
Who's there?
Me, open the door and listen to what I got to say.
Mr. T's just dominating those kids.
We all know it's like a jungle, and that's the way it is. Hard times and bad times are being preached to our kids. Survival is so rough, so tough, without the dollar bill. And with all the problems of the world today, we're taxed for overkill. They say the message is we're doomed, it's
That's
just
thick.
like that. But believe in me and I'm Mr. T, that's not where it's at.
Oh, listen to that sin.
Each morning you wake up, turn on your radio, you ride with the rappers on the records that you know, and they talk about war and politics and the cold hot Sunday reality. The music sounds good, but it makes you feel sad, worried about things you wish you had. Then you go to work at school with your head held down. Wait a minute, get your face up off the ground. You gotta realize me, I have a lot, but you better thank God for what you got. Stop being so depressed, cheer up, don't be sad, cause they ain't dropped the bomb, so it ain't that bad.
They ain't dropped the bomb, so it ain't that bad. That's some Cold War shit.
But I have a copy and I'm the one true product of your
That's what like people nowadays should be reminded of more. Like, if the coronavirus is bad, you could be burned to ashes by a nuclear holocaust. Oh, that's the worst.
I mean, listen to that breakbeat. This is like, again, New York. Beastie Boys have released Ill Communication about this same time. This is similar era.
I like the
Oh,
graffiti.
T.
I like the graffiti behind says "Be Somebody" as well. On this, if when it shows "Be Somebody," it says
That was the title. Be somebody.
I wonder what like actual rappers thought of Mr. T. Were they like, this guy is not doing real art, but we can't say anything because he'll beat us up.
It's for the kids. He's doing it for the kids.
Yeah. I mean, this is written by Ice-T.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
don't forget, this is Ice-T's lyrics.
Yeah,
Was he
but
getting a payday? Did he believe in the content? We'll never know. We should tweet Ice-T and ask
maybe
him.
there's a reason he didn't release this under his own name. He wrote, scratch out the ice, put in Mr.
It
You
was
can leave the T.
straight into this into SUV Law and Order. That's how the downward spiral goes. I love that line. What the fucking? I had it written down. It was so good. It ain't that bad. No, they ain't dropped the bomb, so it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that phrase for so long. Like the bomb, they're gonna drop the bomb. Like
Yeah.
and I think I like that. I focused on that line so much because now we're doing this podcast in the former Soviet Union. Like, it was you fucks who were going to drop the bomb. This is where the bomb was going to come from.
You know, we were suffering too.
No, don't the mover up pressure.
We didn't even have Mr. T.
You didn't have Comrade T. Duh!
Tovarish T.
I pity the communist fool.
We ain't send you to Siberia, so it's not that bad. You have no
You have not experienced freedom of capitalism, so it is not that bad.
I mean, that. Although I have to say, like, this puts it into context because this was 84, right? Height of the Cold War. So, you know, but later on, or I don't know where this is in the video, when he says, you know, take the labels and put your own name on it, he was already showing communist tendencies.
That is.
Yeah, because he like anti-capitalism. So actually, I think he would have been Tavares T very, very well. I mean, if he had come over to the Soviet Union, we would have been, come, yes.
No, I think, yeah.
You can press button for bomb.
We've arrived at the truth now that Mr. T was funded by the KGB. Активные мероприятия.
I think every time you hear the Be Somebody, there's a sleeper agent being activated. Yeah. This is a KGB movie.
We will use muscular black men to demoralize American public against capitalist values.
First, no Calvin Klein. Next, we will have America.
As we provide the tape. Oh, so 80s, they ain't dropped the bomb. That was the worry in the 80s, that one side or the other was going to drop the bomb. Like, we don't worry about the bomb anymore. It's, you know, something else. I don't know.
Wasn't 84 also when like Red Dawn, wasn't it? There the movie called Red Dawn where the Soviets invaded America.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, sure. Dang, you have a good knowledge of the 80s. I knew it. Oh, fuck it. I like this. I'm going to go toe to toe with you on this movie reference stuff. This is great.
Yeah, and you've lived the decade. I wasn't even born yet.
Boom, motherfuckers. Ardo Asperk killing me on the age stuff. Ageist. There's my water. Yeah, that we all...
Yeah, drink that water, old man. You get hangovers from beer.
Wet yourself of that sick burn.
As I capitalistically bought it in a store because they haven't dropped the bomb on me. Here I am drinking Sarema Vessi. I got to tape over the label with my own name on my water.
Well, we had already been dropped bombs on by the Soviet Union. So... Yeah, when at that video, like the rap as well, so random, just Mr. T coming in, as Ardo said, dominating those keys, showing who's the somebody. Though those keys were his fools at that point, I would say.
It was a very big dick maneuver.
Yeah.
Like, you kids, you rapping, Mr. T, he raps.
Yeah. And you can't, like, it shows the ego as well. Like, this guy just, you know, 4 kids having a conversation, and this one grown-ass man coming over like, kids, I'm going to rap to you, and you're going to be my backup singers. Like, that's literally it. And the confidence he did it with as well. Like, no, I've got this.
The interaction has to go his way, like, all the time. Like, if he's enjoying it, it's good, but if it goes the other way, he interrupts, like, just like the roast before. Like, yeah, you kids tell each other you're fat, but no mama talk.
I'm famous.
Yeah.
Starts with, I'm famous. I mean, he expects the kids to know. I mean, he did pay the kids. I think one of the kids might have been in the fashion thing as well.
There's another... I don't think we have the... pardon me, the actual video of this here, but in one of the montages where there's a group of kids sitting around talking, one of the kids, and the last one, the famous one, is Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
Ah, okay.
Cool. Dang. Actually, wait, since we're on this good topic of... There's a good one to go back to. Since we're on the topic of race and history.
Yeah.
Roots!
You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you're from. See this tree here? It's tall, big, beautiful, and strong. But it wouldn't be here if it didn't have any roots. And you wouldn't be here either if you didn't have any roots. You see, roots nourish us and help us to become what we hope to be. Let me explain. I was born in Chicago, and these boots I wear are the same boots my father used to wear. And they remind me of home. But long before that, my folks come from Africa, and they was from the Mandinka tribe, and they wore their hair like this. And these gold changes I wear, they symbolize the fact that my ancestors, they was brought over here as slaves. You see, we all have different roots.
Yeah, my dad was born in L.A., and my dad's dad was born here too. But his dad wasn't born here. He was born in Sacramento.
That's what I'm
Appeasing
saying.
white people.
Just like all these
exactly
trees
the same.
here. We got many different kinds, and they all live together in harmony. So can we.
If you're gonna make it, you gotta know who you are. Be proud of your history.
Now we break out into song.
What you wanna be.
Mr. T, the musical.
We all make mistakes.
It's just the children singing. My notes just say song goes on for 3 or 4 minutes.
In that clip, Mr. T wasn't supposed to give that speech. It was just a school outing, and randomly Mr. T
Showed
just
up.
walked in.
Hey kids, I
Roots.
come from Africa.
Roots.
So we find out about the Mohawk. Did he say about the Mohawk? Wait,
Yeah.
okay. We
Yeah.
find out about the chains. Mr. T's given his origin.
Yeah, the fact about the
Long
chains, I have a factoid about the chains. He stopped wearing those in 2005.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Hurricane Katrina after that, and he said like it would be a sin to wear these now because it would sort of take away or something about all the people who suffered all the loss and so on. So he doesn't wear the chains anymore.
He don't want to flash his wealth.
Yeah, I think it might be also because he's old now and is a bit too heavy. But I mean,
His neck got arthritis.
but it might be the reason he said.
It could be. Also, as I was doing the Google searches of Mr. T, invariably when you search for a celebrity, one of these like net worth of celebrity,
Yeah.
and it said Mr. T's only worth $2 million. Now, obviously, $2 million is a lot to all of us, but is it a lot when you're living in Hollywood? I don't know. Maybe that's it. I mean, if he had 300, 400,000 worth of gold chain, maybe you got to head down to the pawn shop, Pandimaya.
Same thing. If you can get it off me, you can get it into your pawn shop. But I would say you would probably eBay as Mr. T because he would be this is a Mr. T chain, right?
Yeah.
Right, he could have done that. I mean, charity. He could have been helping the children.
He might have been doing a charity for Hurricane Katrina as well with the chains. Then I'm not sure.
That was a real thing. He might have actually really done that, like auctioned them off or
They
something
might,
like that.
because I know because of that whole thing, he stopped wearing them and all that. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, he's got
He's
the
a
history.
good guy.
I mean, he's doing Topshop now, so he's selling knives in Topshop. I think he was like a Mr. T, the chef man. He was doing chef stuff.
He was selling Mars bars a couple of years ago. So, but and at first, and do you can look at that and go like, oh, Mr. T, what happens to you, the downward spiral. You can look at that way, or you can view it through the lens of like, that's America, baby.
Yeah.
That's what you do in America. That's the way of the people there is, you flog fucking Mars bars and knives and George Foreman grills and anything that's a legitimate part of how it goes.
I mean, that's who you are. I mean, it's not like Mr. D is like Daniel Day-Lewis or someone who disappears into a character. Like every character he plays is himself,
Yeah. I mean, in a way, you would have the same in Estonia if actually people would pay for stuff, right? I mean, I think one of the only few people who ever pulled it off was Tanel Padar, right? With the whole, was it the Honda on the CD cover? You should probably know, but like on the Tanel Padar at the Sun CD cover, they had a car.
Oh, that's
that was actually branded. And
what about? No, I feel, Carl, that you're missing the most obvious cultural Vanilla Ninja ice cream.
Yes, as well.
Vanilla Ninja ice cream. That's got to be the straight.
Nublu
up.
has an ice
That's
cream
more
now.
famous than the band.
Yeah.
The vanilla. Yeah, sure,
the ice
right.
cream, yeah. But Nublu has an ice cream now. They made the one.
Nublik.
Yeah. Nublik,
All right, well, you're running out of songs, buddy, so you got to do something to keep relevant. Okay, I haven't heard a new Nublu song in a while. I'm just saying. All right.
And ice cream is actually pretty good.
The Nublu ice cream.
Yeah.
What is it? What?
It's
Tell
called
us.
Nublik. It's basically, this is me shilling for Premia now, but it's a vanilla. I think it was a caramel inside, like a stick of caramel, vanilla, and then it has like rice puffs on the outside.
Dang, that's like a metaphor for Estonian white guys trying to do rap. Just with a caramel on the inside, but it's surrounded by vanilla puffs on the outside.
Vanilla puffs covered in chocolate, but the thinnest amount of chocolate you can ever imagine. Like you can see the white glowing from beneath on that ice cream, but that's a very good metaphor.
The ice cream has a fake tan.
Pretty much, yeah.
The ice cream's been to Paikas Cascos or something in the mall.
So yeah, it's not even, if you bite into it, it's not even hard. It's soft.
We got to get, I mean, this is, guys, I mean, I feel like something like this has always been in the back of my mind for the Comedy Estonia strategy and for you guys as well. I mean, our strategy has always been that we're trying to make careers for our whole lives in this, in this country, right? And I feel sometimes that Estonian artists, they take a too short kind of view, 1 year, 2 years, and then they're done.
Back into real estate.
Then they're actually exactly selling cars, real estate, whatever it might be. And we're trying to take this long view, but there's a real reality here, boys. Like, you got to be, I mean, not yet, but you got to start thinking about ice cream. You got to start thinking about.
I've been asking for a Monster sponsorship for years.
I think we're getting it. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. I mean, you can put my face on a monster. I'll get a Monster tattoo if you want. I've never got a tattoo before, but anything, please, just contact me.
Some great advertisement.
Yeah.
This guy lost his leg from drinking Monster. Drink it too.
The guy with the cane says drink Monster.
Each and every one of his organs are failing.
Drink Monster.
That could be you. During the summer tour, they were like, "Where do you want to go and eat?" And I gave where I wanted to go and eat, and I think Sander told me, "We're not taking food advice from the guy who brought the cane to the summer tour because I had a cane on my backpack always." So like, that's a fair point, actually. Fair enough.
We gotta consider it. And I was so mixed. I was always so we always mock our good friend Mr. Nienemets. We do like to mock him and make fun of what's going on, and he's got the car with the thing down the side. It says Tunnus Nienemets. But I realized the other day, my new soul brother Stig Rasta, great guy, legitimate guy, great artist, also drives a car with his name on the side of it. So I mean, it's all, we can laugh and be like, you're driving a car with your own fucking name on the side of what the fuck. But then again, no one's offering you fucks a car.
Exactly. Okay. And I would take that. I don't have a driver's license yet. I mean, give me an Opel or something. I don't care.
A second-hand one.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to be a guest on this podcast.
The two different views. Like, I'm always like, I'll do sponsorship. I'm a shill. I'll sell out. And Ardo's like, I have integrity. Please.
Get insulted for free beer. That's all right.
Welcome to Showbiz Estonia.
But even Lux Express, right?
Yeah, but that's true, yeah.
They have
at least they get offers
in the lounge area in Lux Express. You have names of Estonian artists and stuff as well.
Oh yeah, the seats are named after artists.
We don't even have a fucking thing there, and we're probably taking the bus more than those fucks, right?
Exactly. Anna Veski's not getting Lux Express.
No, but Karl-Alari Varma is on Lux Express twice a week.
You're sitting on the Tõnis Niinemets.
yeah.
Tõnis Niinemets is sitting in the Tõnis Niinemets fucking Skoda right now. I'm sitting in the Tõnis Niinemets fucking Skoda bus.
This is the new fucked up comedy or whatever.
Bus stop comedy.
Yeah.
Pick up comedy.
Yeah, it's like, what's it gonna be next year? Like, how many up comedies?
Why do they with that? Yeah, exactly. It's what was grow up comedy, then
wake
up comedy. Why are they fucking around with the name like it's not like startup comedy?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, stand up is like tired and done, so we're gonna do something totally different.
Really? Was that what they said?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Stand up is tired and done. Huh.
Kind of. That's the point. Like,
because I think the problem is they don't want to do proper. Like, I know they don't want to do proper stand up, so they.
But that's the bit that's always confused me, right? That they're happy to do all the stuff. They're happy to be, I think, in my opinion, as shameless as can be. But they're like, no, we have the integrity to not call it stand-up. I'm like, what? Suddenly you've got integrity about one minuscule part of this? Nah, it doesn't.
No, it's not integrity.
Sense.
Yeah. No, they're shitting on stand-up as well while doing it. The name change because they're saying it's not like their thing is better, right?
Cool, guys.
Newer and fresher.
That's what I love. Like, this is like a thing that's been done for decades in the West, you know, and like by like absolute masters, like, you know, whatever, Louis C.K. Bill Burr, and we're like in Estonia, like, but we're gonna innovate. This is the now whatever up comedy. It's different.
It's like,
better.
I guess in the Estonian music industry, it's gonna be like, this isn't music, this is music. I mean, we've stolen everything, but we don't want to pay for it. So it's music. It's ours.
Bro, I love those Estonian songs that have the famous song, but they put the Estonian lyrics to it.
Yeah.
Oh, Tanel has a whole bunch of them as well. Oh, they're so good. And I'd love to know the legal ramifications of that. How do you license that? How do you...
Absolutely none.
I think it'll find as well.
Badar isn't in jail, right?
Yeah, true.
Because the ones he does, it's not actually like he hasn't stolen them himself, but he's actually doing old songs of what other people have stolen in the past.
Dang.
So it's the next level, because it's Jaakjuala, right? A lot of the like Saatanlik Naine and all stuff like that. That was all Jaakjuala songs from during the Russian era, right? Mm-hmm. And well, like Jaakjuala was amazingly famous in the Soviet Union, right? Doing those songs in Russian, but then back here in Estonia as well. And now he's, because Tanel just does really good covers of those songs. Yeah. So that's why. But yeah, you can listen to a song and oh, I know this song. And then the Estonian lyrics start and you're like, this is illegal. Like immediately.
I remember when like Tanel Padar had that song, Welcome to Estonia.
Yeah.
Welcome to Estonia.
That's it. I mean, look, if you're a foreigner, that's the first thing you hear.
Yeah.
This is before you even hear the fucking pilot telling you to welcome to Estonia. You hear welcome to Estonia, Tanel Padar.
Yeah. And then I saw the Rocky 4 when Ivan Drago and Apollo Creed fight, and before the match happens, James Brown is living in America. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. But imagine how many old people's minds get blown, because in Radio Elmar as well, they have a show now where they play the like Estonian version, and they say, well, actually this is the original song.
No shit, really?
From 20 years before.
Oh, that's great.
All the pensioners going, what? Just
blowing the minds of these old people in the countryside.
Yeah.
That's so progressive for Radio Elmar. Oh, I never thought. Oh, rock on.
Yeah. It's like, because like we got some Western music in Estonia. Like Jaakjuala sang the Beatles, but they only like took the most pussy songs basically. Like they translated Lady Madonna, but they didn't like do like A Day in the Life or this experimental stuff. So yeah, we're just people think like they're fans of the Beatles or something, but they like only know the songs that the Beatles themselves didn't like that much.
And Sandregos has a really long bit about all of this, and like one of the things he points out as well, which I find really true, is like for years he thought that Meie Mees was a musical genius, the band, right? Because each year new album.
It's a banger.
And then it's it's Boney M. It's always Boney M with this.
And it's Village People.
Yeah. Oh shit! Like it's the whole thing that realization comes, because when you're young as well, like you don't realize like, oh yeah, Estonians make music and so on, and then realize oh it's like everything, our culture has been a lie. This is all you go to Laulupidu and you're like, oh no, this is no. Yeah. Someone should tell your lawyers something about what's going on here.
That's the thing, is that the lawyers, like, who is it? Because Ari wanted to put, Henrik was talking to me, and Ari wants to put like some Frank Sinatra on his, we're an hour in, so it's fine. Yeah. Ari wants to put like some Frank Sinatra or something at the front of his Hooper special or something. Yeah. And Henrik was like, hey, what's the legal ramifications? And I think
$500,000.
I think I wrote something like, just fucking look at Google Maps. What country are we in?
Yeah.
There's no legal like, unless if you don't put it on YouTube and get a copyright strike, there's no sell a CD, sell a DVD. No,
yeah. Because that's the thing with YouTube and so on, and Twitch, that you can't actually, like, YouTube is very particular with copyrighting music, because that's all automated. Even if you're live streaming, they hear the song, you're banned.
Yeah.
Twitch is different. Twitch, you can play during the stream. You can play any audio you want, but in replay, that part's going to be muted.
And that was changed recently, within the last 6 months or something, wasn't it? Okay, that was a big uproar. Yeah, okay.
That was a while. And I mean, I kind of get it where it's coming from, because in America the copyright laws are very like, it's all sort of legal hell, right? A lot of it. I was recently watching a documentary about Good Old Games, which is this is a lot of the same goes in the music business. Well, Good Old Games is a Polish company that sells old video games, basically makes them new and then sells them, right? But the problem is that they have to get the rights for those. And usually, like 7 different people have the rights. Like one has for the story, one has for that for the graphics, one for the code, and it's similar in the music industry, because this guy has the rights for the name, this for the tune, this for the lyrics, right? Sure. And you can't really bring those together that easily. So it's a lot of stuff
and maybe
there.
companies have gone out of date, and you can't even access who's the legal owner of this anymore and shit like that.
My question here, though, is who owns Mr. T's video? I would like to know who has the rights to that right now and that rap.
Who's getting the royalties of that $50 off eBay when you buy the VHS?
And I also think, like, with that rap that Mr. T did, I think it would be like, no, it's yours. No, it's yours. It's yours. No, really, you earned it. Come on, have that right.
Well, I was hoping, because I mean, if I'm going to upload this to YouTube with this stuff, but if I understand correctly, it's okay for me to do it if I don't monetize this video.
Yes. Well, the thing with YouTube is as well, like, depends on who owns the rights as well, right?
Okay.
Because some of the companies are fine with you just having, if you don't monetize it, it's fine. But some of them are like, hey, we don't allow any of this anywhere. But that's very case to case based.
Okay, so Comedy Guy coming to Vimeo anytime soon.
Ice-T's gonna come after you.
Because at that point the rights holder basically has a choice of either allow it to be or block it.
We're going to soon find out.
It'll probably be blocked in Germany, because all YouTube music is blocked in Germany.
That's a problem. Oh, God. Okay, what do we got left? We got a few... I got the bits I want to end on. Mr. T's tale. Mr. T. What do we got? We're going on an hour. Everything's looking okay. What do we got? So what time is it? It's 5 o'clock, and then we got Uxquake tonight. Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna.
For if we are going to talking about Mr. T a bit as well, I'll mention A-Team as well, because I had a look at that, and when he got on, he wasn't the most famous person there, because it was I can never say the name properly. You know who Hannibal's actor was? He was in
Anthony Hopkins.
not that Hannibal. I want to say Pemberton, but it's not. It's Penny.
George Papard.
Papard, yeah, that's the one.
Right.
Yeah, Papard was the most famous one when they started doing it, but BA, aka Mr. T, got more famous.
BA.
And that's where basically it all fell down.
Okay, so there was apparent tension between this bloke and Mr. T. But then the other information that you read says that the show was created around the Mr. T character.
Yeah.
That they said, okay, we've got this Mr. T character, we're going to create it, even though but the other guy, who was Hannibal, was the more respected actor or more.
Yeah, he was on like soaps. Like he was on Dynasty. And in the 60s, he was actually in...
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
with the Audrey Hepburn.
Oh. Yeah.
I watched that movie. It's like, wow, this is like... That's him as a young guy, and he doesn't even smoke a cigar.
And his plan comes together.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he got the line, right? I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
Ich liebe das, wenn ein Plan funktioniert. I spent some time in Germany, and that's the only thing I remember was A-Team in German.
That's when they tested the first gas chamber. Ich liebe das.
Ich liebe das, wenn ein Plan funktioniert.
Viel Glück.
Herr Sie Führer.
Bringen Sie aus, der Juden.
Still missed every shot. But but that's the thing, like with you say you spent some time in Germany, but you still saw A-Team in Germany.
Yeah,
because
right,
it's everywhere, right? And that's why Mr. T is internationally famous.
What's fool in German?
Good question. But here's another historical factoid for you. When I was in Germany, it was 2006. It was 2006, and I had met this delightful German girl, and I was hanging out with her in, I don't know, some town, who knows, some place, some crowdy place.
No respect.
Who knows? No respect. Right, some Germany place. And she's all like, hey, we're going to see a thing tonight. It's improv comedy. You know, you going to come? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll come. But she's like, yo, it's in German. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess so. We're in Germany. It happens. And it was the first time that I ever seen really a performance or anything in another language. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, look, I'm there. I want to get laid, so I'm there. Cool. And 2006.
The sacrifices you make.
You got to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I watched this improv show in German, and of course I can't understand the words or anything, but it was the first time that I watched comedy in another language, and this is what blew my mind. That when I wasn't understanding the words, I was watching everything else because I'd had a background in theatre, a background in improv in Australia. I hadn't done so much stand-up comedy by that stage. And so, I mean, I'm sitting there for a fucking hour and a half watching, da, and then das, and then this, and then va, and then scheiße, and then, you know, okay, yeah. I need a suggestion from the audience, and I don't know. And okay, so I started to focus on tone and rhythm and how the people were laughing.
The German is very like Mr. T. Mainly yelling, I have to say.
I like it. And this is the first time, I mean, it's when I noticed that when you watch comedy in a language you don't understand, you focus on everything else. Mm-hmm. And really, that's the core of where my part of Comedy Estonia comes along even today. That people are like, Lewis, how can you know what an Estonian comedian is like? I'm like, well, I can hear the laughter, motherfucker. Like, I can hear people laughing. I can hear tone. I can hear rhythm. I can tell you when a punchline is coming. For the most part, I can be like, you know, you can hear the and sometimes I hear the rhythm. I'm like, wait, was he just playing with the rhythm, or did that punchline not work? Like, and it was my first insight into the power that I could still understand a lot about the performance without the language.
I think you've imparted a lot of that into our sort of subconscious as well, because we can watch sort of performances like that as well. I remember a couple of years ago at the Fringe in Edinburgh, we were talking. I think you, and then there was some sort of representative for one of the bigger promotion companies, so some sort of promoter as well. And I had just seen a show, and I like, so what was the so how was the show? And I gave a detailed thing of how, like, basically what he was doing and all that, like very technical stuff. And that man was taken aback, like, what does this come from? Like, how can you analyze this like that? I'm like, well, this is what Lewis has taught us. Like, this is how we watch comedy now, right? In a bit like, oh yeah, I can see where his punchlines are coming, but they're falling short and all that. And like, yeah.
Did you get late though?
Yeah, that's the main question.
I did.
That's good. So
I did.
The sacrifice was a worthy one.
All good. That was the success. Dude. That girl. She gave me one of my very first jokes that I ever had.
I thought that was going to be something.
Yeah, I was there as well. Like, what action did she perform?
She gave me
what kind of worry did she give you? Which disease?
One of the very first jokes that I guess I used in my stand-up that I ever had came from her.
I think I know which one it is.
Which was a real one. That, I mean, this is classic Lewis / Comedy Estonia in 2010 joke, which was, I once had a German girlfriend. In the morning, she rolled on top of me. I pushed her off and said, what am I? Get off me. What am I? Poland? Yeah. Boom. Yeah. That's Comedy Estonia 2010 right there. Zing, 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 zing.
History.
Another of the historical materials.
Historical material.
We'll get it cancelled nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Because of that shit. And, well, in this country, you can say whatever you want. It's great. Exactly. I love it. Especially outside of Tallinn, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Even in Tallinn, it's pretty much like you can do. I'm still waiting for all the TV people to realize you can do anything here. Like Rannamaja is nothing compared to what possibilities you could do. Like the shows and all that. Because we were talking in Külapood like a couple of weeks ago as well, like all the TV formats and so on that you could sort of, I would like to see done in Estonia because they were so illegal. or like one season, like one of them was Kid Nation, where they basically got Lord of the Flies. They got a bunch of kids and put them on an island and saw how they would manage. Like they had to rebuild society, like very few adults. And you could do, and the main issue that got cancelled was because of child labor laws. But in Estonia, it's like, oh sure, let's
just throw them onto nice Ardo.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be fine.
Well, apparently, like at some like 8 o'clock talk show or whatever, they took some woman's like a mold, like a clay mold of her vagina or something like that, like live on TV.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So I think like as it's younger people are going to the internet, and old TV needs to up their game, you know, to be relevant. Like in a few years, it's gonna be just like really dirty and you know, just like total filth.
I think once you finish TV, you have to go and look at some hardcore pornography to wind down. like even just a bit more.
I mean, it's gonna be sewage.
Yeah.
And like pensioners are gonna be watching this. Like, wait, I don't like this.
All right, we got a few more Mr. T clips before we're gonna round out this episode. So this is a short one. This next Mr. T clip is friendship.
Friendship.
Oh wait, it's a school. He's a school teacher.
Okay, class, the special word for today is friends. The dictionary defines the word friend as a noun, a person with whom one is on terms of mutual affection and respect.
Respect.
Where I come from, a true friend is someone that when you get bit by a snake in the big toe, they'll be there to suck the poison out. I mean, that's a real true friend.
Oh no, a snake just bit me in the big toe.
What the hell was happening?
Sometimes a true friend is hard to find. Excuse me.
Whose toe is he gonna suck that toe?
It's like,
he did. He didn't.
It's like the voice of weird Jewish manager God coming out. Yo, T!
We need your skills again.
I love to like watch Mr. T like just abuse those kids, like suck my toe, suck the poison out.
No, this is not a sort of. This climax has left me wanting. I want to see Mr. T suck poison out of a toe.
Right.
I want to see any toe, just suck it.
I mean, we were talking about Fergie before, but let's go back to Sarah Ferguson, the British queen princess lady. She had the on the toes, right? If we're making a Fergie connection. Bang. All right. We got 2 more bits to go. We got the ending bit, but we got one more bit. Mr. T's tale, because by the end of the video, I mean, the start is he's kind of all over the place. He's talking about roots, and he's talking about style, and he's talking about working out and recouping and that. But he gets more philosophical by the end, and I like that. He's bringing it in. He's bringing the children close, not in an Epstein way. He's bringing them close, and
they're already in his crew. We saw in the first video they were around him dancing happily.
Epstein.
So this is
T in Epstein.
Mr. T's tale.
Mr. T, did you ever belong to a gang when you were growing up?
No, not me. But there was a lot of street gangs in my neighborhood. I mean, a lot of them. But I didn't join because my mother didn't want me to be a part of no bad boys. So I always wanted to do what my mother told me to. It reminds me of a story about Jackie and Ricky.
Who?
Well, I'll start at the beginning. Well, many years ago, not that many years ago, there was this young man named Ricky, and he liked this young lady named Jackie. I guess he was about 17, 18 years old, but they lived on 2 different parts of town. Ricky lived on the south side of town, and Jackie, she lived on the north side of town. Now, on where Ricky lived at, there was a street gang called the Mighty Midgets. And where Jackie lived at, there was this street gang called the Crazy Cats. And they always used to fight. They wanted to be the top gang in the city. They used to fight all the time. But anyway, one night there was a big dance. And Ricky went to the dance. Then he got in a fight with one of the gang members of the Crazy Cats. And that's the part of town where Jackie lived at. And so therefore, when Jackie's mother heard about that, then she was really sure that Ricky was a part of the gang. And Jackie was trying to explain to her mother that Ricky wasn't a gang member.
Oh, it's going somewhere.
But what?
I can't remember. I might get the story wrong. You got to go read the ending yourself.
Read it. Didn't you make this up?
Well, half and half. I halfway made it up, and half of it was true. Well, the real story is called Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And it was written by this English guy named William Shakespeare.
That English dude, I thought he only wrote old-time stories.
No, little brother, he wrote a lot of good stuff. And you can check him out at the library. And reading can be fun. It can take you places you've never been. It can inspire you to make your dreams come true. Really.
As he was telling the story, I thought that was like...
You got it.
Yeah, I wanted to say that was Romeo and Juliet, and I was like waiting for the thing to end, and like, oh shit, the reveal. There's actually Romeo and Juliet. Oh shit, I could have spoiled it.
I love like one kid was giving it lip like, didn't you make this up?
Yeah. You're a little kid. You give it lip to Mr. T. Like, yo, what? Huh? What you making me listen to?
I like the one kid when he was telling the story. You could see the kid was lost, like just like.
Jackie and Jimmy and what? With the gang, with the midgets? What?
Yeah. Again, a word you can't say nowadays,
Can't say
apparently.
that,
Yeah.
If you're a 1980s gang. There's a... actually, here's a good test for you, Ardo. If you haven't watched it, there's a great documentary that you need to watch. It's from the 80s. It's called 80 Blocks from Tiffany's. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay, so Tiffany's in New York, right? 80 blocks all the way up in the Bronx. And it's like hardcore street gangs from the early 80s, and they've got the gang culture, and they've got and it's like war on the streets of the Bronx in the 80s. And these documentary makers go in and they talk to them, and they're talking about, yo, and I slashed that guy, and then I cut that guy, and then, this gang and that gang, and they've got, the pants tighter than you can ever imagine. Like, this dude's got a schlong down to his knee, and it's so tight, these little spandex pants, that you can just see the outline. It's unbelievable. 80 Blocks from Tiffany's. You can download it on Pirate Bay. I've got a copy.
Oh, cool, man.
You'll love it. I got to get it to you.
If I want to see some dick through some pants.
I've got a site for you, but it's called Pornhub.
Yeah, but like, I guess like the 80s were really crazy. Like when New York was just a piece of like shit from like the late 60s to the early 90s. If you watch on documentaries, like you think like this is Eastern Europe and we have it rough. Then you see like clips from New York and the Bronx, and like whole buildings were just like rubble,
Yeah, rubble. Like it was like a bomb, like it was
Yeah.
fucking Afghanistan.
Yeah, like Berlin after World War II or something. Just like whole blocks were just like burnt down buildings, rubble, burnt cars, kids playing in, the sewage or something like that.
Right. This is exactly what this documentary shows. And now it's, because when I was in New York a year ago with Aria, I went up to the Bronx. I'm like, ugh. And it's like, no, it's lovely now. And there were lovely people there, and it was delightful. And, it wasn't at all a thing. Oh, Jesus, we've been doing an hour and a half. So, yeah, T's getting philosophy. He's getting philosophical at the end. He's breaking it down.
Real twist in there, yeah.
T was trying to steal some material, but failed.
Just rip it off.
Actually, I think there would have been more sort of, he could do all of Shakespeare's stories and give it like a street twist to them all. Because, to be honest, like all stories, well, not all, but a lot of stories are some permutation of a Shakespeare story in the end now. Because he made so many, and they were all sort of generic types, right?
Yeah.
Mr. T should, if he needed something to do in his, he's 68, he should be reading audiobooks.
Yeah.
You would fucking listen to Shakespeare. Yo! And then that fool went to the...
what light shines in yonder window?
Everyone's a fool in the story. It's like, what are you talking about?
Is anyone sensible? In all
To
of
be
these
or
stories?
not to be? That is the question.
That's a question.
To be a fool.
To be
That's the question.
You can do it. It would be great.
Yeah.
Stay cool, Hamlet.
Stay cool.
All right. Look, there was more bits in this, but I think it's nice. We've done some bits here. We've done that. We're going to wrap it up.
How long's the original video?
1 hour.
Okay.
So we've already got longer than the original, and we haven't talked about all the bits.
So it's an hour of gold is what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, it's all this. It's songs. It's more of this breakdancing. There's more different advice that we haven't gone through. There's more different clips that I haven't Anyway.
So my question to you is, which have you seen more, Rocky 3 or this video?
This video, I haven't seen Rocky 3 in maybe once a long time ago.
So if Mr. T came up to you, you wouldn't know him. Oh, the guy from 80 or the guy from Rocky 3. No, the guy from the motivational video.
How would I know Mr. Hey, I grew up in the West. I know who Mr. T is.
True.
Like, okay, I know what's up with, I got all the... What would I know... about Mr. T? I guess the A-Team. Even if I was a kid and my parents would be like, no, you can't watch that movie, it's too violent, you still know that Rocky 3 is a thing and it's there and he's in it. Like, I couldn't watch The Terminator, but I knew all about what The Terminator was, for example.
And the A-Team, well, it was kind of violent. It wasn't actually like, during the whole of seasons, only one person died on screen, right? Yeah,
that's their thing,
So... yeah, it's not violent as such, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a lot of punching and Mr. T throwing people across like bar stools or whatever.
Everyone, like, so many bullets being fired, but no one actually dying from those bullets.
And in the fights, the Mr. T was made to wait outside for the fight to begin, and then he'd burst through the doors every time.
So he's a legend for me. He's an inspiration.
You know it was a special episode. Like, there were like throughout the whole season, it's like 2 or 3 episodes where Mr. T lost to a guy.
If Mr. T didn't get like a one punch someone, that was
high.
That was a 2-parter episode.
He's gonna have to get his punch in. I just in the research for this episode, I downloaded the A-Team again, and I'm gonna watch it on my CRT. It's the way you got to watch it on the old TV.
Watched,
it's got a
whole 5 seasons.
There is 5 seasons.
And
because the fifth season was when they turned themselves in, as I remember.
Yeah.
And the trial, and they're actually like, because they needed to move the plot along.
Yeah.
They couldn't just do random adventures every episode, and they needed to move the plot along. And it's, vis-a-vis a little bit like Jumping the Shark, which is, so Jumping the Shark, I don't know if you know, you will know the reference, I know, but it's from Happy Days with Fonzie, and they needed a new plot line in the final episodes, and so Fonzie fucking water skis over a jump that he has to make, and it's the classic example of just shoehorning in a really inappropriate plot, trying to make a show because relevant.
They got the actor from I can't remember the correct one. It was like Uncle something, right? That my phone buzzing, very unprofessional of me, and I will let it buzz away.
That's great. We didn't hear it.
That's good. I heard it.
We didn't hear your Pornhub notification. That's okay.
Yeah, they had the Hunt Stockwell character.
Yeah, and who was basically the government agent. It's like so giving them missions so they could clear their name.
Right. Yeah.
And they had Hulk Hogan in. I think that was actually in the 4th season.
Shit, Hulk Hogan in the 4th season?
Yeah, in 2. And they said Hulk Hogan would have been a recurring character like the whole season if it hadn't sort of interfered with his wrestling schedule. So because Mr. T knew wrestlers, right, and so all that stuff. So he got Hulk Hogan and people in.
Yeah, that stuff never made sense. Like they're supposed to be like hiding out and on the run from the law, but they're friends with Hulk Hogan somehow.
And Boy George.
Boy
George was as is himself as well in there, and like you started getting like famous people going because they were like, "Come on, we need ratings, we need people watching this again."
Famous singers hang out with war criminals all the time. But the fifth season's like nicest. I mean, it's different. Like they changed the main theme tune too. Like the melody is the same, but it's like synth. 80s like synth.
Ooh, nice. Okay, because that would have been about 86 or something. Or something like this.
And do you know what the crime was that they never committed?
What?
It was
no, robbing the Hanoi Bank.
Yes.
That the general or whatever ordered them to rob the Hanoi Bank, but he got done.
So
he got wiped out before so they couldn't prove it. So they. Okay. I
Points for everybody. Thank you for Külapood.
I got some. And speaking of Hulk Hogan, okay, last one. Do you know the story of? There's a book called Conspiracy, which is about the Hulk Hogan recent day, which is that there was a Hulk Hogan sex tape.
Oh.
Yeah. So the story goes that there was a Hulk Hogan sex tape, and there was a website called Gawker that released it and just fucked everything, right? Like they got it illegally and they couldn't have released it, and they released his sex tape, and Hulk Hogan, I mean, he just got everything taken down. He did the act. He basically fucked his friend's wife, but the friend was there. It was a weird situation, and they taped it.
Very American situation.
And then they released it, and that destroys like everything in Hulk Hogan's life. Yeah. And so the situation is, there's this website Gawker that was just like releasing everybody's information. Yeah. Anything, any detail they could get their hands on, they were releasing. They didn't care. They had no evidence. They didn't give a fuck, right? And so along comes this billionaire dude called Peter Attia. And Peter Attia is an amazing, and he's an investor. He's in startups, maybe PayPal or one of those fucking things, right? And
sounds like a profession.
Yeah.
Peter Attia, not an astroneer.
And Gawker out him for being gay. Like most people kind of in the community kind of knew it, but they run this huge story, Peter Attia is gay. And Peter Attia is a billionaire, and he decides to go to war with Gawker. And he is trying to find a way through his almost unlimited resources to take down this Gawker.com. And he eventually hooks up with Hulk Hogan and then goes through and works out, they did something completely illegal. We're going to do this. Is Hulk Hogan on board? And the whole thing is that it's Hulk Hogan suing Gawker website for illegally releasing his sex tape, and the whole time nobody knows that it's actually Peter Attia, the billionaire, secretly, because everyone's like, where's fucking Hulk Hogan getting all this money from? Nobody knows that Peter Attia is actually the one funding this. And the whole thing, I mean, it's played out over many years. It goes to court, and eventually in the end Hulk Hogan wins. And they sue the ass off Gawker. Gawker loses everything. And then only later is there Peter Attia who goes like, oh yeah, hey, it was me behind the scenes who did that. And it's a book called Conspiracy. It's by a guy called Ryan Holiday. He's a great writer. And it's super interesting.
Sounds movie material, to be honest.
It is. It has to be scripted at some stage.
But he had to be like at the end, like, it was me all along.
He comes out,
He pulls off the mustache. I love it when a plan comes together. One just last thing about Mr. T. Do you think that Terry Crews is the Mr. T of today?
True. Yeah. I mean, because he's wholesome.
Yeah, wholesome. Like, has the
jacked.
buff. Exactly, has the message for children, charisma, all that.
All right, guys. We're an hour and a half. Thank you for being on this episode. This is a fun episode. It's not Lewis trying to be serious and talk about leadership and business or some other bullshit. We just had some fun today.
You did insult us for a while, but that's fine.
Hey, that's par for the course. Okay, I don't know. Your expectations were wrong. I would say that.
How many insults did Stig Rasta get? Sure, fine. Let's leave it at that.
You don't have your name on a car, all right? I'm going to butter you up when you have your name, Karl-Alari Varma, signed on the side of a car.
No, because I've listened to Mr. T. I'm going to get a car. I'm going to tape out Mr. Stig Rasta. I'm going to buy his car, tape it out, write my own name there. I'm going to put Volvo in the back of my car. I'm going to write Lewis. Oh, that should be the cover of this episode. That's going to be the cover.
Just gonna write your name with a marker.
No one's gonna get it. No one's gonna get the reference to 1 hour 36 minutes into the podcast. Why? That's the cover of the episode. All right. This is the final. I'm gonna thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Ardo. Thank you, Karl. And let's play it out with the final.
Nice.
Minute and a half of Mr. T inspiration.
Well, that's it. I want to thank you for hanging out with Mr. T. I'll see you again very soon. I'll be ready whenever you push that rewind button.
Rewind button? Somebody, you know you can. Be somebody. Imagine that. He just wants to make this video. Like, I want to help the kids. He's talking to his manager. Yo, manager. Yo, 20%. Man. Kids. We make a VHS. Now I got the credit.
He loves those squats too.
He's doing squats in his manager's office. I need a video for the kids.
You gotta work out your whole body, not just the biceps.
Looking at the credits scrolling by. Kimmy, Robert, Zion.
It was just Athena.
Athena, oh yeah, we saw Athena. Oh yeah, Zena and Zena. I love it. Original music
by Mr. T and the Dimples. Gregory.
Styling. That's right. By Ice-T. It says it right there. Vocal arrangement.
Yeah.
Ice-T. It says it legit in the credits.
On this generation, you got to find your